Today I'm going to compare the newest iteration of the MagFlexPlate system. If you're new to the channel, you will not know that I already reviewed the older MagFlexPlate system. But there were a few design iterations and some improvements, so I'm going to review them for you, so you can make an informed decision if you are planning to buy on the next Kickstarter. First of all, the people behind the MagFlexPlate systems are Italians, and they are from the region of Salerno. So they did all the R&D to make this system as cheap as possible for you guys, because we all love a good deal. And they even got better. So I'm going to open up, give it a look, and I'm going to test it against the old system. In the old Kickstarter, one of my first complaints was that the box was very poorly made. Now this one got a big beating, but it came in an envelope together with some bubble wrap, and the inside is, as you can see, extra secured with another layer of bubble wrap. Removing the protection, we can see that all the corners are nicely protected with some plastic, and you are greeted with this nice MagFlexPlate congratulations card. The first one are the instructions for installation, and the second one will take you to the social media of the system. As you might see, I have quite a lot of plates to test. The first one is the original for the Jupiter. I'm going to replace the magnet because it's a different magnet and the plate has quite a few changes. Then next we have the plate for the Anycubic M3 Max. This is absolutely massive. Comparing it to the Jupiter, you can already see that the build system is a lot bigger. Then we have two more plates. I think one is for the Plus and one is for the regular M3. I think I will note it down there. Here we see again that the corners are nicely protected with a plastic clip. Now looking at the two plates, I can already see a big difference. The laser engraving is way sharper than the old one. The old one was kind of very faint. The newer one is supposed to be deeper. So this is a 0.04 millimeter engraving, and this is a 0.08 millimeters of engraving. So the resin has a deeper pocket to grab on. So the next thing that changed is that the slot is less big. As you can see, it's a bit smaller, but the supports are a bit thicker. These are a bit thinner right over here and right over here. It's a bit thicker right over here and over here. If we look at the middle, we can see that the cutout is almost the same, but if we look closely, this middle part compared to this one is thicker. Was it a problem in the previous one? Absolutely not. It's just another improvement to improve for you guys. Now we come to the backside. As you can see, this one is the one that I sanded. This one is pre-sanded in the factory. If you're having problems with the laser engraving, you can always use the backside and sand it yourself. This one is sanded with a 400 grit and absolutely everything sticks to it. This seems to be a much smoother sanding. So I will test it if it's good enough, and otherwise just a quick sand with a 400 grit will fix the non-sticking issues. Then we come to the next upgrade, and this is probably going to be the biggest upgrade. This is a 3mm magnet instead of the previous 2mm magnet. The tape has changed. This is a 3M VHB tape that the producer claims to be 5 times more expensive than the original tape that came with the previous magnet. So they ensure me that this is never going to let go of the build plate. This is the build plate with the old magnet, and it's still super fine. So I don't think that even if you got the older one, that the tape is going to be an issue. Now sure, you can say bigger is always better, but I'm going to prove to you that stepping up from a 2mm to a 3mm is going to be an improvement. And for that, we have to go downstairs into the testing machine. And this is going to be our testing setup. So we have the original build plate screwed down with some tabs. We have the MagFlexPlate on the original magnet. We have some very thin plastic that is connected to a hook, and that hook is connected to this force meter. So if I'm going to pull on it, you will see I am applying about 6 kilos of force. And in that way, I want to show how much the thicker magnet will hold down the plate. And yeah, I know this is a bit of a faulty method because we are pulling on the sides of the plates and thus creating this peeling effect. But the thicker magnet and the thinner magnet, we should be able to measure the difference. So let's zero the meter. We are at 0 kilograms of force, and let's lift it up until it comes loose. And we hit a peak of 4.7 kilograms of force. I'm going to do this quite a few times and see with what I come up with. This is going to be the last one. And we hit 5.5 kilo. We come up to these results. All right, then divided by 6, we have an average of 5.266 kilos of force. Now let's swap out the magnet on this one and change it with the new one and do these tests again. Now it's time to remove the magnet to change it out with the thicker one. I have never changed this magnet. I think it's going to be a pain in my ass, and hopefully to try and help me, I'm going to put it on this heated bed to make the glue a bit softer than it is right now. I have set the printer on 110 degrees Celsius. I'm going to make it nice and hot, and then we are going to try and peel that sucker off. Well, removing the old one was surprisingly easy. Maybe some soaking in acetone and we can use this to make some fridge magnets. Alright, before we are going to apply the new one, I'm going to sand the surface, give it a last rub of acetone, and it's on with a new and thicker magnet. The build plate is squeaky clean. Now I'm going to give it some time to get rid of all the fumes of the acetone, and we are going to stick on the magnet. 2.07 for the old one. Now the newer type, or the thicker one, I think the magnets is the same. This is 3.8, so it should be at least 3 millimeters thick. Now I'm going to peel back one part like this, and I'm going to start with applying it on one side like this, and then I'm going to gently peel back the backing paper while keeping it nicely aligned. Now give it some pushes and the new magnet is on. I'm going to look at some specs of the glue. So it's a new VHB tape from 3M. It's the 4905 kind, and I'm going to translate some of the highlights. It's fast and user-friendly, and it's a permanent method and very stable form of gluing stuff together. And it keeps out all kinds of liquids, so there will be no liquids trying to get into the gaps. The tape will secure everything from permeation. So this tape should do just fine on the resin. So looking at the manual further, we have to let it rest for at least 72 hours with some weight on it, in an ideal temperature between 15 and 25 degrees. What's going to take 3 days for me is just a few seconds for you. It has been 48 hours, now it's time to throw it into the testing machine and see how much force it takes to peel off the flex plate from the magnet. The meter is set at 0. This is the new magnet. Let's go. 6.7 kilo for the first try. Next try. 7.5 kilos. We're set to 0 the last time. 7.1 kilos. I think we can conclude that this magnet has a lot more pull forces, but I have a new test. Alright, we got everything hooked up. This is a testing software. I made a new bracket and this is going to be the flex plate that is glued to this thing. Now let's go downstairs and mount everything up. Let's try and get this thing nice and square. Well, the test went great. There is at least a force needed of more than 60 kilos to pull this plate off to the magnet. Now I don't see any visual damage on the magnet or on the plate or the print for that matter. So we're good to go. Let's throw it into the printer and level it. If this is the first time that you are leveling your print, you need to make sure that these are nice and loose so the plate can settle. Then open up the lever fully, like that. Slide it in and now home it. As you can see, I have the vat with the FEP in it. I like leveling this way. I think it gives me the best results for a flat build surface. Alright, now you can tighten these 4 bolts and the one in the middle. I like to give it a wiggle first. Then I push on the bolt on the top while I tighten this one. Now I do the same for here. Same over here. I put my finger on it. Now I'm giving them a final snug, just like that, and we tighten this screw, like that. Now we can go up, and we have done the leveling of the flex plate. The leveling was successful. Now it's time to test the laser etching with the full build plate. Oh yeah, isn't it amazing that you can pull 70 kilos of force on just one heated insert? What? Well, call me impressed. I didn't think that the new laser pattern would work. The previous one certainly didn't for me. That's why I recommended for you to send it. Now, this time, yeah, this is the complete build plate. So this is the build plate. This is the object. This is the complete build plate. Nice! Actually have a working laser etching. You can see it here on the back. I will show you some close-ups. You can see the laser etching nice and clear on the back side. I think with one quick swipe of some sandpaper it will be gone. Right for you to be priming it. The printer did great. All the details are there, but the thing we want to see is the back side. And as you can see the laser etching nice and clear. Then it's time for the conclusion. First of all, it survived this torture test. This was printed flat on the flex plate on the laser engraved side, and it absolutely hold on. And this is the full build plate. Then the last one is this bust from Emake3D. This is a free bust you got with the last Kickstarter they did. So if you support the Kickstarter, you got this file for free to download and print it yourself. Nothing came loose, it printed amazingly. So there was a definite improvement in the laser engraving of the FlexPlate. Now let's talk about the pricing, and I'm not 100% sure about it. I asked a few times, but they were still debating if they would keep the same price. And this is for one 3mm magnet and one flex plate. The biggest competition for the MagFlexPlate is going to be the Wham Bam XTR. They have a regular non-XTR, I think, but I have seen some pictures of the plate starting to lift on the sides because of shrinkage of the resin. If you're on the fence if you should get the XTR or the non-XTR, get the XTR. It's going to be almost the same as the MagFlex system, but now the Wham Bam system comes in at a whopping $19.5, and this is only half of it. I am pretty sure that the people behind this system don't make a lot of money, and that is not their main point to make a lot of money. They just want to provide you guys with the best system they can give you for the budget that they are presenting you. So in my opinion, if you are looking for a flex plate for the Jupiter, for the M3 Max, the M3 Plus, the regular M3, and I bet there are a lot of other different printers. I'm gonna put a list right over here. This is the flex system to get. It's unbeatable for the price, and it just delivers extreme performances. I want to give a big thank you to Moreno from Italy. Moreno is the brain behind this system. I think they are really good guys, and they just want to give the absolute best that they can give for the money. It's only the half of the Wham Bam system. If you are interested in buying one of these flex systems, there's going to be a link down below. That link is going to be an affiliate link helping me out and make me pay for all the resin that I use for this little man right over here, but it's not going to cost any more for you. And if you don't want to use that link, you go to Kickstarter and you type in MagFlexPlate systems and you will find it right over there. You know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this FlexPlate systems. And if you want to know how much suction force, FEP and resin really make, and if it's enough for this magnet, then I would suggest to subscribe to the channel, because that is one of the next videos that I'm going to test out. Little spoiler, I got something exotic to test out. This is going to be an FEP you have never heard of, and I'm really excited to test the differences. Well, this is gonna be it for me. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.